It's really important to consider the fact that this trailer, the Firebird 3, was built in the 80s, and as such, it was top of the line back in its day, not really, but it also is capable of holding extra heavy cargo. It does not have brakes. It has skinny little tires, and most importantly, last year during COVID, during the high point, nearly 1 million trailers were sold, and many of them to first-time owners, and many of those owners have small crossovers and SUVs. And that's why we're doing this test. Don't let the shirts confuse you. I'm Andre and he's Nathan. And what's important here is that we're towing a super heavy load. Not only that, but a super aerodynamic load. One that will challenge the vehicle, but not too much, because we don't want to go over its tow rating. We want to be at or around its tow rating.
We're here at the world's toughest towing test for the first ever Tike Ike.
That's right. It's like the Ike Gauntlet, but for smaller vehicles. More importantly, vehicles that you guys are buying left and right that could come with a tow hitch.
Camping and overlanding are very popular these days, and also compact crossovers are killing it. And in this case, this is a brand new Kia Sportage all-wheel drive turbo. It's got a 2-liter under the hood, and we've never towed with one of these. Let's take it down and up the mountain and see how it tows. Alright dude, so we call it the Tike Ike, but this is actually the world's toughest test because right now we're at 11,158 feet above sea level.
That's right, and we're hitting a 7% grade, heading downhill at 50, and we're doing it in a vehicle that has to rely on its own brakes. So once I get to 60, I want to slow down and let it go back to 50, right?
And count brake application.
That is correct.
This is what we usually do with pickup trucks, right? And the tests that we do with big SUVs.
And here's my first brake application.
Let's see, what will this 6-speed automatic do? So it's not really downshifting for you.
No.
The way that a truck would do it.
No, that is correct.
Yeah, and we're towing about 1,200 pounds, right?
Yeah, it's just under 1,200 pounds. And there are a lot of tent trailers or pop-up trailers out there, and teardrops and whatnot, that actually weigh this much, under 2,000 pounds, that don't have brakes on them.
I wanted to ask you about stability, because we're in a compact crossover, the Sportage, not very big, not a lot of payload that this vehicle has. How's the stability?
It's better than I thought it would be. This vehicle pulls the trailer around great. Power is excellent with the turbo. Now, some vehicles come with a whole trailer package. Sometimes they'll come with oil coolers or transmission coolers or anything like that. As far as I can tell from everything I've looked at online with this vehicle, basically the towing package for this is the mount and the 4-pin connector.
Yes. And this hitch and the towing package is $425.
Okay. I would say that with what this thing is able to tow right now, that's not too bad. When you're towing a trailer, especially with a little tiny car like this, you want to make sure you're as level as possible. If you're pushing down too much and your front end rises, it can affect everything from acceleration, braking, and you can blind people with your headlights. And if it's the other way around, it can do the opposite. It can really push you as you're going down a hill or turning. So those are all issues. So because the hitch is tiny and really works well for things like, bike racks, we were going to use one of these and go into one of these and hook it up. That didn't work. In fact, it scraped. Then we were going to use one of these and put a ball on it. That wasn't going to work either. I tried using a different one and that didn't work. Finally, I figured it out. Using this simple setup makes it as level as we can get at TFL with all the toys we have here. One final thing, you really should bring chocks all the time, at least 2 and hopefully 4. Why? Because when I take this trailer off of this, there's no way to stop it from moving around if it's on an uneven surface. And always watch TFL Truck for the Ike Gauntlet because you'll get the best information for towing.
So that's 10 brake applications.
10 brake applications. So I think we can call this done. And what's getting me here is that we've driven trucks down this hill
with 10 brake applications.
With 10 brake applications.
So this is actually not too bad.
It's not too bad. All right, let's talk about a few things, starting with the backup camera. Boom! Now I have to shut off the parking thing in order to make it not scream at me. But what I like is that you can actually see where the ball of the hitch is right down there. And it made it much easier for me to line this up and hook up my trailer. So that was great. Now, this button down here, if I turn it on, hear that? Okay, so every single time you're lining up your trailer, you're hearing this. It's actually made to scare dogs. Not a big deal, but just annoying. But there's another button I want to show you right down here. Lock. Let's say you're in a muddy situation, especially when you're trying to tow. You hit this and you're actually splitting the torque 50-50 front and rear at low speeds, and it will help you get out of deep situations. TFL has had a lot of experience with this button, and it works quite well. A couple other things you guys should know about. Can you see that right there? It says 21 miles per gallon combined. Yeah, not the best in class, not by a long shot. Fortunately, this vehicle does not require premium. You can put it in as a choice. They say 87 required, so yeah, you're gonna be filling up the tank a lot, but at least it's not too expensive.
Normally we take trucks like this TRX towing up and down the Ike. And keep in mind, the more brake applications, well, the more dangerous it is, because you can overheat your brakes and then use or have to use the runaway truck ramp. Now on the way up, a perfect time is 8 minutes, because that's the speed limit. So if you can do the speed limit, you're doing well. And by the way, guys, if you like TFL videos and our news, you can get all of the news now in one place. It's tfl-studios.com, and this is a new web app that you can download to your phone, and it'll keep you up to date with all of our stories, videos, and podcasts. All right, well, let's let the boys take the Kia up the mountain and see if it can match that perfect 8-minute time.
All right, so 35 miles an hour.
I'm at 35.
We're going nice and steady, and then
Tell me when to reset.
You're gonna put the hammer down and reset at the same time.
Tell me when.
And do it now.
Come on, there it goes.
The timer is on, dude. You know, this 2-liter is actually doing remarkably well.
I'm at 60 now.
Wow.
There are a whole bunch of things about this vehicle that's actually kind of interesting. First of all, there is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated version of this vehicle, right?
Okay.
The towing rating is exactly the same with front wheel drive and all wheel drive version of it, even though this is way more powerful. So the towing has nothing to do with the power. The towing has to do with the car itself.
We have to be very precise on this power rating, right? Because depending on which model you get, front wheel drive or all wheel drive, this is all wheel drive.
Yes, it is.
The power may change, the rating may change just a smidge. This is 237 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. And the torque comes in at like super early, according to Kia.
Yeah,
like,
this thing is really torquey.
Like 1450 RPM, boom, you're getting full torque. And that's what you want in a towing vehicle. And this does that. This Kia has that.
Roof racks. A lot of vehicles come with them. This is an option. These are really cool ones too, because with the key you can make them slide back and forth, which is great. But what a lot of people are doing is they're putting rooftop tents on these things. Now, they're great. We've done them before as well. But when you do that, some of them weigh quite a bit. Make sure that your racks are rated to hold them. On top of that, the minute you do that, you are lowering the amount of stuff you could put in your vehicle to maintain its payload rating.
I gotta say once again, I'm very pleasantly surprised that we do not hear the trailer through here, through the cabin.
No.
It's actually quite normal. It feels normal. It doesn't feel like we're towing.
I did not expect this vehicle to tow as well as it does. Not even close. It is holding its own. It's maintaining speed with no problem. And two, there is a little bit of squat, completely normal in a vehicle like this.
Yeah, but it's not, like you said, we're not over payload.
Nope.
And we're also not terribly like nose pointing into the sky. We're not like that. All right, dude, so we're near the top. It could be a perfect run. Yes, we did have a slight construction slowdown.
Yeah, there's a little bit of traffic. This is real world testing.
And we're gonna stop the timer, and I'm gonna do that now.
8.8 mpg.
And 8 miles, which is basically perfect.
Yep. What was the time?
8 minutes and 7 seconds. So with a tiny slowdown, 8 minutes would be a perfect run. 8:07 is basically perfect.
Cameraman, go tight on this face. This is a challenge for all you automakers out there, because if you give us a vehicle, any vehicle that has a tow package or a tow hitch on it, we will take it up the Tike Ike.
Dude, I gotta say, for this first ever Tike Ike, I'm very impressed with this Kia Sportage.
We've tried stuff like this before, but this is the first time we're really trying to put the Ike in it, and I'm very happy with the car. By the way, in the future, next year, all new vehicle, all new design, so we're gonna see how everybody feels about it, and maybe we'll take it up the Ike as well.
Yes, but here's the summary of what just happened. 10 brake applications, 8 minutes and 7 seconds up the mountain with what, 8.8 mpg? Those are really good results for this little crossover. I'm very impressed.
Overall, it was way better than I expected. Thanks guys for joining us. I think it was an awesome test.
And go back to tflcar.com, tfloffroad.com, and tfltruck.com for all the latest news.
See you next time.